Delicioso.
Plus, there's a special offline mode so you can take games with you wherever you go. It's all on the free PBS Kids Games app. Download today.
Hey everyone! Molly of Denali is made possible in part by Target believes that the power of play and the joy of everyday life are all around. Target is a proud sponsor of PBS Kids. The W.K. Kellogg Foundation, the Arthur Vining Davis Foundations, the GBH Kids Catalyst Fund, and by viewers like you. Thank you, Masi Cho!
Tickets, please. Catch a ride to adventure and brand new friends where there's so much to learn and the fun never ends with Buddy, Tiny, Shiny, and Don, the conductor, plus Dad and Mom. Dinosaur Train's got your ticket and it's heading on out. You better not miss it. Watch PBS Kids for Dinosaur Train. You'll meet new creatures both wild and tame. When it's rolling on down the track, just take a seat in the front or the back.
Destination Dinosaur Train. Streaming now, free on PBS Kids.
The Great Barrier Reef is in grave danger.
For over 65 years, Sir David Attenborough has been the voice of the natural world.
The blue whale!
The truth is, there's no one like David.
This is David Attenborough's life journey.
Wednesday at 7, 6 Mountain on SDPB.
On the evening of Thursday, December 5th, join SDPB for a Dakota Life Detours Marathon. We put together some of our favorite recent episodes for you to enjoy. Detours are the stories that take us off our Dakota Life path that we feel the people of South Dakota need to hear. They're about traditions, hard work, and interesting people with stories to tell. These are tales that make you proud of our beautiful state. Dakota Life Detours Marathon, Thursday, December 5th, starting at 8, 7 Mountain on SDPB.
Legislative coverage on SDPB is supported by the South Dakota Bar Foundation, SDN Communications, Missouri River Energy Services, Wrench Law, and your membership in the Friends of SDPB. Thank you.
This is a production of SDPB.
Good afternoon and welcome to Peer for SDPB's live special coverage of the fiscal year 2026 budget address from Governor Kristi Noem. I'm SDPB's Jackie Hendry, joined today by SDPB's politics and public policy reporter Lee Strubinger. We're waiting for Lieutenant Governor Larry Roden to gavel in the joint session of the 100th legislature well, almost. That's going to be the 100th legislative session coming up in January. Lee, why don't you give us a bit of the highlights of what you're expecting from this budget address?
Yeah, so for the first 4 months of fiscal year 2025, revenues are down by about $24 million. That's driven largely by reduced sales tax collections. And so retail trade is seeing negative growth for the first time since 2010, and that's driven really largely by a decline in farm machinery sales. That reduction in revenue is really going to drive the governor's budget and what she puts forth today. One of the key projects of her administration has been fully funding a men's prison outside of Sioux Falls. And we heard a couple weeks ago that they're still about $200 million short on funding that particular project. And so we'll have to wait and see what that kind of looks like in terms of how she pieces the rest of that budget together. They really want to avoid bonding for that project. They say that will cost the state even more in the long run. So they really want to try and fund it now before they really move on building this particular facility.
Right. So the budget address is really the opportunity for the governor to propose a budget to the legislature. Ultimately, it's the legislature that comes up with the budget for the governor's approval. This is sort of seen as the unofficial start of the legislative session, but that doesn't officially begin until January. Promises to be a really interesting legislative session. We have a lot of new faces in the legislature, possibly a new governor, depending on what happens with Governor Noem's appointment or expected appointment in the new Trump administration coming up in January. Lee, what are some other topics that you expect to hear about in the budget address, or some things that you have your ear out for?
Well, I'm really looking forward to seeing, there are years where the governor has really talked about the budget being a lot of her policy priorities. So again, like you said, this is an unofficial kickoff to the upcoming legislative session with a lot of new faces, potentially a new governor. But this will really set the tone for the next several months when they gavel in January.
Again, this is the governor's budget address for fiscal year 2026. We're waiting on Lieutenant Governor Larry Roden to gavel in the joint session. It's a full house in Pierre. All lawmakers gather to hear this address. We'll still see some familiar faces for folks that won't necessarily be coming back for the official start of the legislative session, because we have some chairs changing over and things like this. But we're going to get to hear potentially from some new leadership coming up after the budget address. You can stay with us for reaction from lawmakers, and of course continued ongoing coverage from SDPB at sdpb.org/news as we continue on with coverage of that budget. So for folks who are just joining us, we're waiting on Lieutenant Governor Larry Roden. It looks like he's almost ready to gavel in that special session, or that budget address, I should say. Lee, if you want to run through again a couple of those bullet points while we wait for that gavel.
Sure. And a couple other things that we might be expecting to hear is some change to the education, how education is funded. I know a lot of groups are really looking out for potentially school, I think they're calling it the school voucher program potentially. So really kind of all eyes on that. There is also a lot of pressure for property tax reform, and a lot of these things folks are really going to be balancing, lawmakers are really going to be balancing, in addition to getting that prison funded, those two particular interests as well.
Great. We're waiting for this. There we go. There's the gavel.
Joint meeting of the House and Senate will come to order. And I'll start by saying welcome to the Capitol. I know we have a lot of new faces in the crowd, and so welcome to your house, the People's House. This morning, the prayer is going to be led by Representative Hansen, and the pledge will be led by Speaker Stevens.
Let us pray. God, we gather together today in gratitude and thanksgiving for the many blessings that you have bestowed upon the people of our state. We ask a special blessing today upon our governor, our lieutenant governor, and each and every legislator as we set out to do the work of once again delivering a sound, balanced budget for South Dakota. We recognize, Lord, that all of the resources and dollars that you have entrusted with us are blessings from you. and that you have called us in a special way to be good stewards of these resources for the good of the people. And so, God, we ask for a blessing of wisdom and good judgment, for a servant's heart, for temperance and justice. And in all of our work, may you be honored and glorified. We ask all of these things in the holy name of Jesus. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to cut to the chase and get down to business. In accordance with South Dakota Constitution, the governor should propose to you a budget in which the expenditures or appropriations may not exceed anticipated revenue and existing funds available for expenditure or appropriation. The appropriations by you, the legislature, may not exceed anticipated revenues and existing funds available for expenditure or appropriations accordingly. The governor, through the Bureau of Finance and Management, shall prepare and submit to you a budget with copies for you today, no later than the first Tuesday after the first Monday of December. Sergeant at Arms, would you please announce the arrival of the governor?
Would all of us please welcome the Honorable Governor Kristi Noem.
Thank you. Go ahead and be seated. Thank you so much. Good afternoon to all of you, and welcome to the Lieutenant Governor Larry Roden, Mr. Speaker, members of the House and of the Senate, and to all of my fellow South Dakotans. I want to thank you for being here today to listen to this budget address and talking and visiting about the priorities of the state of South Dakota. I do want to extend a special welcome to some guests that I have here today listening. I have some family members. First of all, would you all greet with me the first gentleman of the state of South Dakota, Brian Noem, who is here. I also am very blessed to have my mother with me today, Corinne Arnold, who is wearing her very special and favorite Conway Twitty sweater. So if you will notice that. That only comes out for the really big, important days. And then I have my mother-in-law and my father-in-law with me today, who are incredible, amazing, loving people that I've been blessed with for almost 33 years now that Brian and I have been married. Would you please welcome Al and Sharon Noem as well. I also want to welcome Sandy Roden, who is the Lieutenant Governor's beautiful wife, is with us today. And then I have other family members and staff and cabinet that are here. I want to thank you all for being here for this budget address. I am once again extremely blessed to be here and to discuss South Dakota's budget with all of you. The past 6 years have been one of the greatest honors of my lifetime. I love our state, and I love everything about it. I love our natural beauty, but what I love the most is our people. are people that are patriots that love this state but also love the United States of America. And with that, we have some patriots here serving in our military that I'd like to recognize and ask you to give them a round of applause. If you would please stand if you serve in our military, or if you are a veteran that has served, please stand and let us recognize you today. Our state motto is "Under God, the people rule." In 2018, the people elected me as their 33rd governor, and we accomplished a lot in those first 4 years. In fact, in 2022, they once again gave me the opportunity to lead, and they re-elected me. And when they did, they sent a clear message to the people of our state that they appreciated the direction that South Dakota was going. I made decisions to uphold the Constitution while focusing on the people and the families that live here in our state. And that is our charge as elected leaders. It's how we have to approach this budget. As is always the case following an election, we have some new legislators that are with us today. So I'm going to, for your benefit and for all of our benefit, repeat my philosophy with all of you today when it comes to taxpayer dollars. During my time as governor, I have always kept my budget proposals focused on our people, not on government programs. After all, this is the people's money. They entrust it to us, and they expect us to spend it wisely and responsibly. Every single dollar that we invest, every single policy that we support, and every single vote that you take in these legislative chambers, it should be focused on our people. It should be focused on making them safer and stronger and freer. And we should always look at the future, on what will be best for our kids and for our grandkids. We focus on the core purposes of state government, as outlined in our South Dakota Constitution. That focus is further understood and underscored in a year like this one. As a result of the Biden-Harris policies, the national economy remains anemic. However, the Great American Comeback is going to take off soon. And until then, we're going to have to make some tough decisions to deliver the 136th consecutive balanced budget for the state of South Dakota. As former Governor Bill Janklow once said, we watch our cash, we watch our projections, and if it ever becomes necessary to make the budget cuts, we will make them without hesitation. Whether or not that involves any political flack or criticism, frankly, I couldn't care less. My first primary responsibility as the executive chief of this state is to make sure that our books always stay in balance and that we never spend more money than what we have available to spend. Frankly, the people of our state do their business that way, and they wouldn't expect any less of us. Those are wise words from a strong leader. And make no mistake, South Dakota's economy remains the strongest of any state in America. We have the lowest unemployment rate in the country, the fastest growing incomes of any state, and folks continue to move here by the thousands to share in our freedom. Even so, our revenue picture has tightened up this year. We have $44 million in ongoing revenue available, and that's less than what we've had in recent years when I've addressed this body. For one-time revenue, we have $175 million available. That's primarily a result of another large infusion of unclaimed property receipts. Last year, you heard me talk about the historic unclaimed property receipts of $134 million. Well, due to our excellent business climate, we've attracted yet another large holder of unclaimed property. This year, unclaimed property funds exceeded our previous record level. They are now $229 million, which is $60 million in ongoing revenue that we can safely and responsibly plan for moving forward. We are considering everything above that amount to be one-time revenue. The people of South Dakota have repeatedly voted for fiscal conservative policy, and they expect their elected officials to enact the same. Now, our budgets should always focus on our core priorities, and that's what I have done in my first 6 years as governor, and that's what South Dakota is going to continue to do. Today, I will talk to you about our priorities and how this year's budget achieves those priorities. Our budget sets our state economy up with the freedom to succeed. and it educates our kids so that our next generation has the best opportunity for success. It promotes access to quality health care across our state. It preserves and protects the safety of our people. And it achieves all of this while maintaining fiscal responsibility for taxpayer dollars. Now, we've accomplished a lot over the last 6 years. One of the things that makes me the proudest is how strong we have made South Dakota's economy. When I first ran for governor, I saw an economy that needed to grow. Our young people were leaving our state, our businesses weren't thriving, and major projects weren't coming here to our state. But I knew that we had an opportunity to turn South Dakota around. I declared South Dakota open for business, and that proclamation was really put to the ultimate test during COVID when the rest of the country shut down. Not South Dakota. We trusted our people, and we gave them the responsibility to make the best decisions for themselves and for their loved ones. Our economy took off. We made wise investments as a state to tell our story and to capitalize on our economic strength. We were able to make 10 years worth of broadband infrastructure investments in just 1 year because of our strong tax revenues that we brought in. We invested in tourism and workforce marketing campaigns so that people would be drawn to South Dakota's freedom and our open spaces. We knew that childcare and housing availability were concerns that kept our workforce from growing. So, as quickly as possible, we made targeted investments in those areas to keep our momentum going. We prioritized grants to companies in our state to increase competition, and we also made smart investment in communities to set them up for success, like building the decks and the shed at our state fair to bring it into the 21st century. I am blown away by all that we've been able to accomplish as South Dakotans. You heard me talk proudly about our economic strength, but did you know that since I've taken office here, we've had the lowest average unemployment rate of any state during that 6-year time frame? It's incredible, and it's because we gave our people the opportunity to work. My budget proposal will continue to invest in our state's workforce. And one way we do that is by investing in our state employees and in our healthcare providers. And over the last few years, we've provided targeted increases for both. Last year, we passed legislation to guarantee that teachers will get opportunities to earn more when we give increases to education funding. Together, those three make up the big three. This year, that is what I'm proposing that we can do when we address inflation again. I am recommending that we give 1.25% increase for the big three, for our schools, for our state employees, and for our healthcare providers. Since I took office, the Consumer Price Index has increased by 24.9%. We will have provided inflationary increases in the same time frame at 27.9%. This should help keep us ahead of what the increase in inflation should be. We're not going to go back to the days when our kids and our providers and our employees are left behind. Thank you for getting this done for South Dakota. One of the best ways that we can keep South Dakota's economy strong is by keeping taxes low for our people. Last year during this speech, I asked you to make a permanent tax cut for the people of South Dakota, and I am reiterating that request to all of you today. Our people deserve better than a temporary sales tax holiday, and I look forward to that conversation during this legislative session. In order to meet our workforce needs, our kids and our grandkids need to be equipped for the jobs of the future. But education holds more than a fundamental place in our society than just filling our open jobs. I have prioritized education over the last 6 years, but let's start with the cornerstone of education, which is reading. We have invested in the science of reading because it works. Returning to this phonics-based method ensures that our educators know how to teach our kids to read efficiently and with confidence. We can bolster those efforts with a 5-year, $54 million federal grant to support our science of reading programs at the district level. My Department of Education is moving literacy forward, and I thank you for your support of the science of reading. We've also emphasized the Jobs for America's Graduates program to make sure that high-risk South Dakota kids can make it to graduation ready for a college or for a career of their choice. We invested in higher education to make our workforce needs and to meet them. We also expanded training opportunities for nurses at technical schools and for colleges, and we supported the growth of our cybersecurity program at Dakota State University to guarantee that the jobs of the future will be right here in South Dakota. We provided full tuition for our South Dakota National Guard soldiers to thank them for their service to our state and to our nation. And we guaranteed that teachers will get increases to match state funding for education. We're going to continue to prioritize education with this year's budget. My budget focuses on making sure that our students have the best opportunity for success. Good education starts in the home, and parents should have the tools that they need to choose the educational path that is best for their kids. I'm proposing that we establish education savings accounts for South Dakota students in this upcoming legislative session. I'm setting aside $4 million in ongoing funds to stand up the program and to start providing support for South Dakota students. Now, this investment will pay for a portion of private school tuition or curriculum for alternative education, beginning with about $3,000 per student. Because this is a starting point and a limited initial investment, we must first provide for the South Dakota students that have the greatest need. But our goal is to expand the program, and my hope is that these ESAs will ultimately be available to every single student in South Dakota. Now, let me be clear. We will not be cutting any dollars to our public schools, as many people might try to argue. Public schools are very important to our state's educational future. And as I've mentioned, education has seen historic funding increases. It's important to remember that South Dakota supports all of our students. We want those students to receive an education that's best for them and to have the freedom to do so. I look forward to working with both legislative chambers to get this policy in place. In 2019, I started a program within the Department of Public Safety that's called the School Safety Center. This center operates a tip line, and it provides training to help keep our students safe. They've completed over 150 different school safety assessments, and they have made recommendations in security upgrades and in improvements to our school districts. However, sometimes these school districts have a difficult time affording and putting in place these improvements. This year, I am proposing that we invest $10 million in one-time funds over the next 5 years to create school safety grants. These grants will support identified security upgrades and protect the next generation of South Dakotans. In my time as governor, I am proud of the work that we have done to support the public health of South Dakotans. Every single citizen in our state should have the freedom to live where they want to and the opportunity to have good health outcomes, even if they choose a rural lifestyle. In my time as governor, South Dakota has become the standard for how to revolutionize rural emergency medical services. Innovative efforts like telemedicine in motion are setting an example for the nation. And we've put modern life packs in the back of ambulances across the state to save lives with all of your support. We've expanded the Bright Start program to support moms and their babies before birth and after. And we started construction on a brand new state-of-the-art public health lab. We've added resources to this lab to enhance all of our services to the state. We've invested to help build and to support regional mental health facilities across South Dakota. In the past, when a South Dakotan was experiencing a mental health crisis, they would end up often in jail or in an emergency room to get cared for. Well, now they can get the appropriate help that they need closer to home. And this effort is a big reason why South Dakota continues to lead the nation with the largest drop of overdoses of any state. And my budget this year is providing an additional $1.2 million in additional ongoing funding for these regional facilities. I'm also Go ahead. I'm also recommending a $1.5 million investment into Agency with Choice at the Department of Human Services. This will continue to allow our families utilizing our Family Support 360 program and services to choose the services that fits their family and their homes best. They can do so without an arbitrary cap on the hours of service that can be provided. And this investment will provide greater care for South Dakotans utilizing our developmental disability services. Public health is influenced by so many things, including the water that we drink. My administration has made historic investments with your partnership in water infrastructure across South Dakota to make 20 to 30 years worth of water investments in a very short time frame. I'm proud that we have improved the quality of South Dakota's drinking water for decades to come. And we've also provided infrastructure to help our state grow with economic opportunities that are in our future. We're also managing this increased demand on our state's Medicaid system with fiscal responsibility. We have $86 million in mandatory ongoing spending increases in this year's budget. Those are primarily tied to Medicaid. This includes the remaining $33.7 million to fully fund the cost of Medicaid expansion. I want to thank all of you in the legislature who have taken the steps to ramp up to that total amount in the last couple of years. Those targeted investments in addressing this cost has been very smart and wise and will help us serve people better in the future. That smart planning is going to afford and help us afford this total in the years to come. But because our state's economy has done so well, we will have to take on a higher share of the Medicaid costs ourselves. The federal government is reducing their FMAT support, and the state will have to step up and fill that gap. This will also cost us another $27.8 million. With all of those investments, we're going to continue to strengthen public health in the state of South Dakota for years to come. And now I want to talk about safety. One of the core responsibilities of the government is to guarantee the safety and the security of our people, to protect their rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I'm proud that what we have done the last 6 years has improved the safety of our people. We've strengthened our physical infrastructure to keep our people safer. We've repaired highways and bridges. We've included and put in place innovative new ways to achieve safety on our roadways. We've consistently invested in our state radio infrastructure to support public safety communications in every corner of South Dakota. We fixed dams across the state, and when we saw a 1,000-year flood this past summer, we didn't have major dam breaks in South Dakota like we saw in our neighboring state. In order to continue this important work, I am recommending in my budget an additional $13 million to finish the Richmond Dam project. We have also invested in our readiness centers for our South Dakota National Guard and communities around our state. Our National Guard has consistently been awarded for being the very best in the nation. They do every mission with excellence, whether responding to natural disasters, deploying overseas, or helping to secure our border. By supporting and building training facilities like these readiness centers, it's going to help keep us safe into the future. I have increased resources to combat the horror of human trafficking, and when President Trump secures the southern border, we will cut off the primary pipeline for human trafficking that is infiltrating our country. Threats to public safety can take many forms, including attacks on our cybersecurity. Our state government systems endure countless cybersecurity attacks every single year. My administration has focused on modernizing our IT systems to protect the personal information of our people. We've identified cybersecurity as South Dakota's next big industry to protect our people for many years to come. Finally, we've made historic investments in building new prisons that have been on need and something we've had to address for many decades. Thank you for fully funding the new women's prison in Rapid City. Construction is well underway out in that community and on that project, and it is going to be a fantastic asset that we have not only within our Department of Corrections, but to provide services for those individuals during their time with us and help them to leave better equipped to be a part of their family and their community and have a bright future. As for the new men's prison, we now have an estimated total cost of $825 million for the project. Our current state penitentiary is older than the state of South Dakota. The current building is falling down. It's long past time for us to replace it for the safety of our people. The new facility will be built to meet our medium and our maximum security needs far beyond our lifetimes. You have already set aside $567 million in the Incarceration Construction Fund towards this project. We are estimated that those dollars will bring in $76 million in interest just from being put away ahead of time to address the project. My budget meets the remaining need of $182 million in one-time dollars to fully fund the new prison. Paying cash for this facility will save taxpayers of South Dakota $600 million in interest, fees, and annual debt service payments. It is amazing to me what this legislature has done and what we will continue to do to save the money ahead of time for a project of this size to make sure that we aren't putting a burden on the future taxpayers of South Dakota. It's the right thing to do. South Dakota has always been an example of fiscal responsibility. After all, this budget will reflect 136 consecutive balanced budgets for our state. We recognize that all of these dollars belong to the people of South Dakota. They work hard to earn money for their families, and it's our responsibility to manage those dollars wisely. Since I've been governor, we've taken fiscal responsibility to new heights. We've truly made South Dakota an example for the rest of the nation to follow. We're one of the only states with a fully funded pension plan. We have a AAA credit rating. We've paid off tens of millions of dollars in debt. We've broken records for the largest surpluses in state history. The legislature worked with me to pass the largest tax cut in South Dakota history, and we've advanced long-term fiscal responsibility by implementing new IT systems like the Bison program and the 605 Drive program that will guarantee that taxpayer dollars are protected into the future. This year's budget will continue to maintain responsibility and management for taxpayer dollars. I'm recommending that we maintain our long-standing practice of having a minimum 10% budget reserve balance for a rainy day. Additionally, due to that unprecedented influx of unclaimed property receipts, I'm recommending that we set aside another $43 million of our one-time revenues to pay for future claims. This money belongs to the people, and we must be ready to pay it back when those claims come in. This will set our reserve balance around approximately 10 or 12% of our state budget. I told you earlier that we only had $44 million in available ongoing revenue, but we have $86 million in mandatory new ongoing expenditures. We've discussed other new spending items today, and to balance this budget, we're proposing $71.9 million in budget reductions and discretionary changes. You may have other things that you would like to fund, but as President George Washington said, we must consult our means rather than our wishes. This is what South Dakota families do every single day. We'll achieve a balanced budget by making needed changes to both revenues and to expenditures. As technology evolves, it's important for our state government to look at past decisions to ensure that they're still relevant for today. Over a decade ago, we encouraged businesses to electronically file sales taxes by providing a credit incentive. This collections process is now normal business practice, and this incentive is no longer necessary. We're going to continue to strengthen our fiscal foundation by paying off debt with one-time money. This will free up ongoing money for this year. We'll reduce the money that we set aside for maintenance and repair. We're going to right-size the funding for programs for the Department of Social Services and the Department of Human Services to match utilization of these programs. They have been reverting money for years at the end of the fiscal year over the last several years, and it's time we right-size these budgets. We'll reduce the state match and funds for the temporary assistance for needy families. Our economy is strong and more South Dakotans are working than before, and I have asked the Board of Regents to propose $2 million in budget reductions of their own. I propose reducing funding for South Dakota Public Broadcasting to bring us in line with the national average. Currently, South Dakota is the third largest per capita funding of public broadcasting of any state in the nation. We've been paying more than double the national average. And finally, I'm proposing further steps to strengthen our fiscal fortitude. We're going to expand resources to assist the Board of Internal Controls. We need to strengthen our Department of Legislative Audit and to clarify the work that they do. My budget includes 2 more additional employees in this department to build on steps that will be taken to make sure that we have integrity and oversight of taxpayer dollars. We'll continue to strengthen our financial systems to make sure that we're transparent with these taxpayer dollars. And the new Bison accounting system will have safeguards in place to control processes and to protect taxpayer dollars, things that simply were not possible before with our decades-old system. The 605 Drive program will strengthen financial security and transparency within the Department of Revenue. And last week, I signed an executive order to stand up state employee trainings around public trust, duty to act, internal controls, conflict of interest, and a service mindset for the citizens of South Dakota. Our state is an example of fiscal responsibility, of limited government, and of what we can accomplish when we trust our people and we respect their freedom. We don't just talk about these things. We make the tough decisions to back up those words with action, and the results prove that our approach is correct. I want to thank my team at the Bureau of Finance and Management for putting together this budget today. Would you all give them a round of applause? They're sitting right up here. Commissioner Jim Terwilliger, or Twigs as you all know him, and his team have been fantastic to work with. They work all year to get to this day and make sure they're giving you accurate information that reflects the values of the state of South Dakota. They will be around to answer whatever questions you may have throughout this upcoming legislative session. Now, South Dakota has been my home all of my life, and it always will be. Thank you all for giving me the opportunity to serve you. Thank you for all you have done to join me on this incredible journey, and thank you for serving the people of South Dakota and to doing it alongside me and my family. May God bless you, may God bless our great state and the country, and may you have a very Merry Christmas. God bless you.
This joint meeting of the House and Senate of South Dakota is hereby adjourned.
And that was the fiscal year 2026 budget address from Governor Kristi Noem. Again, you're watching live special coverage of that here at SDPB. General theme of the budget address, additional ongoing expenses and cuts to make that happen. Here's some of the cliff notes. We know that there are $44 million in ongoing revenue in the state, which is less than years past, says Governor Kristi Noem. $175 million in one-time funds that are necessary. Some of the highlights of this speech, the big three, that's schools, state employees, and healthcare providers in South Dakota, still anticipating a 1.25% increase for the big three, which Governor Noem says should keep up with inflationary increases for those groups. In the education sphere, education savings accounts, a proposal from Governor Kristi Noem, $4 million in ongoing funds there, which she says should amount to about $3,000 per student to cover part of private school tuition or some curriculum for alternative education. However, she says that she does not anticipate any cuts to public schools to make up for that costs. She made that very clear. She does not intend cuts to public school, but $4 million in ongoing monies towards education savings accounts. School safety grants, another $10 million in one-time funds. And it looks like we're going to go to Lee Strubinger on the floor with the first of his legislative reactions to the budget.
Okay. Thanks, Jackie. I'm standing here with current representative, but soon-to-be Senate President Pro Tem, Republican Chris Carr from Sioux Falls. Your reaction to the governor's budget address?
I liked it. I thought it was a great budget address. It took into account the big three, still has some increases there. Considering, we're watching revenues very closely, what's going to come in here in November, December, January, we know it's been a little soft. But the governor's also chose to look at state government and has found $70+ million of budget cuts, essentially. I think that's fantastic. Right-sizing government, cutting out some of the fat. Let's focus on our core things. That's like the big three. 1.25%, we'll look at that. But, I think that's good movement considering what we've done the past few years. We've done some great increases for our teachers, our healthcare providers, and our state workers. Those are some big ones. And then ESA, having some school choice vouchers, that's been something that's been kicked around here for several years since I've been here. The governor took a big topic and I think threw out a digestible idea to say, let's start here.
She also talked about wanting to make that eventually available for every student in the state of South Dakota, but also that money won't be diverted from public schools. When we take that into account and kind of the revenue picture right now, who knows what it'll look like obviously in the future, but how would that work? How would that be possible?
The devil's in the details, as we always say, right? That's what we're going to have to look at, and that's where I think the governor took a hard approach here with actually looking at budget cuts and saying we're going to take money from departments that don't need it, DSS, DHS. We're going to refocus on education of our youth because it has been something that's come up. We've heard South Dakotans talk about this. We want to make sure that our public schools are also functional and funded the way they need to be. So that's something that we as appropriators, we get into those details, and those are the questions we're going to be asking too. So I don't know how they're proposing it all comes together, but that's the job of the legislature to make sure that it does come together. We don't short our public schools, but we make sure that our youth in the state get educated and that parents have a choice on how that education happens for their youth.
Yeah, you said this idea has been kicked around for a while. You see this year being the year?
I think it is. I think, we've seen some ideas come that the funding is the big piece of this, right? The governor threw out an idea to take an incremental approach to go, let's test the waters, let's get it going, let's help those families that, want to have a different option for education, but also can't afford it. So this would be kind of that first step.
She also talked about making that tax holiday permanent. That was a bill that you brought. It was right. A sunset was put on in the Senate. Now she wants to make it permanent. But she also talked about, revenues being down and facing increased expenses. Why should that tax cut be made permanent?
We passed it with the idea that it should be permanent. If you don't make it permanent, here's what happens. This is kind of classic government too. If money's there, it's going to get spent. What the governor did today was, I think what a lot of us have to do, at home to go, what are our priorities? And we're going to cut some areas, but we're also, just because times are a little lean doesn't mean we're going to go out and raise taxes or shift taxing certain groups or individuals. We're going to stick with our priorities, and that was providing that tax relief, still taking care of our core services. I think that can be done. If you leave money out there, we spend it. That's what we've seen here. There's been several of us that have encouraged to not spend those dollars, to sit on them and use them for big projects like property tax relief, right? But what happens, we've seen this every year, somebody comes with an idea and say, we still got $10 million sitting there. Well, let's spend it on XYZ. And it erodes those dollars for any future big picture plans like property tax relief. So I stick with that tax cut, knowing that if that lifts, somebody's just going to find a way to spend it. And I think we stick to the core, what government does, and I think that's what we heard the governor say today. Let's stick with our core services and not incentivize, putting more dollars out there to incentivize additional things, additional spending, additional government programs that aren't core and priority.
Thank you so much for your time. Certainly a lot to discuss in the next few months for sure. I'm going to send it to Jackie.
Thanks, Lee.
Thanks, Lee. I'm joined with Senator Liz Larson from Sioux Falls, incoming minority leader on the Senate side. Senator Larson, give us kind of your general overview thoughts of this budget address first.
Well, thank you. You know, the budget is always a starting point, and it's the starting point from which we will work together across the aisle for the rest of the session to figure out what is in the best interest of South Dakotans. You know, as Democrats, we're concerned with lowering costs for South Dakotans. There was an absence of really a focus on either childcare or affordable housing that we noticed in the budget. There was also a focus on you know, we know that there's going to be a reduction of costs, and there wasn't a lot of detail given on what exactly those reductions will be. Health and Human Services was mentioned, so we are interested in looking at that. And we're also just interested in digging deeper into using this as a starting point, digging deeper and coming up with good solutions for South Dakota.
I know we've already seen some buzz about the education savings accounts, was the phrase Governor Noem used. Other folks might call it school choice, school vouchers, things like this. She did say very explicitly she does not want cuts to public schools in exchange for those funds. But what would be the Democratic caucus's response to that so far based on the budget outline today? Sure.
Well, you know, it's a slippery slope, and different people like to contextualize education savings account in different ways. We would need to see the business case behind what that funding would, how that funding would affect public schools. One of our core, you know, beliefs as Democrats is that we protect public education. So we would need to make sure that those types of programs are not a slippery slope leading to less investment in our public schools.
Any closing thoughts before I let you go, Senator?
Well, I mean, again, we're interested in working across the aisle, and we are interested in the best solutions. And we find that those come when there's a lot of good dialogue and iteration between differing viewpoints. And so we hope to drive that with our colleagues on both Senate and the House.
Incoming minority leader on the Senate side, Liz Larson, thank you for your time. Lee, I'll give it back to you.
Thanks, Jackie. I'm standing here with Republican Representative Mike Derby. He's a representative out of Rapid City. He is chair of House Appropriations and co-chair of Joint Appropriations last year and in this coming legislative session as well.
Correct.
What was your reaction to the governor's budget address?
Well, thank you, Lee. We as leadership had dinner last night with the governor, so we did get a preview, and then we did get the actual budget books, so we're starting to go through those. I think the two big takeaways for me, one has to do with what's called the Big Three, K through 12, state employees, and healthcare providers that deal with Medicaid, with a 1.25% increase. We've come off a couple years with very big increases, and a couple years ago it was 7%, 4%, 1.25%. This just reflects a slowing growth in the South Dakota economy, and obviously we have all concerns about that. Core inflation right now is 3% nationally, and so this 1.25 does not even cover core inflation. So obviously we have concerns about that. I in particular am very concerned about the healthcare providers that have a lot of Medicaid, and that's a big concern for me.
Another really big ticket item was the governor proposed to fully pay off the men's prison in Sioux Falls. I think it shook out to about $182 million.
That's correct.
Can you talk about the effort to really fund this particular project, which still needs legislative authorization? Can you just talk a little bit about that over the last few years?
Well, this will be the biggest project in this history of the state of South Dakota. The total figure is about $825 million. We've got about $567 million set aside, and we're going to earn interest on that money that we've already have in an incarceration fund of about $76 million. So the delta was $182 million, and you probably wonder why in these times, where does that money come from? We have had what I would call an unprecedented amount of unclaimed properties remitted to the state of South Dakota. And that's because the state of South Dakota is the center for a lot of bank charters, national bank charters. So we're getting money from outside of the state of South Dakota, and we never know how much it's going to be. We budgeted $61 million. It's going to come in at about $225 million. So we're going to sweep about $182 million to pay off the prison construction.
How is that a sustainable way to kind of finish that last little go around in case people come back and claim said unclaimed property?
Well, we are setting aside $43 million just for that inevitability if people do come back. So that's being set aside on top of our 10% budget reserve. We're adding $43 million to take us to about 12% of the budget reserve, just in case. So it's fully sustainable. We're covering everything in the event of that, and we'll have a fully funded prison.
Any other final thoughts on the budget? What kind of role does this particular proposal play when y'all really gavel in next month and sit down and hammer out the details?
I think it's really just more a reality check. There actually have some budget cuts that were implemented to get us to where we are. We need to balance the budget. It's in our state constitution for the 136th year in a row. We'll do that. It's just getting back to reality. You got to remember we had billions of dollars of ARPA money, American Rescue Plan Act money, COVID dollars, infrastructure dollars that have worked through the system, and guess what? People just aren't spending as much money as they used to. So our year-to-date general sales tax numbers are down. We're not going to meet our projected numbers, but we will balance the budget. We'll get through it, and as I say, from today on, now the work begins.
Representative, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Jackie, back to you.
Thanks, Lee. That's going to wrap it up for SDPB's live special coverage of the fiscal year 2026 budget address from Governor Kristi Noem. We want to thank you for watching. You can get ongoing coverage from SDPB on these budget issues as well as the legislative session that kicks off in January. Online, up to date, sdpb.org/news. In the meantime, thank you for watching. I'm Jackie Hendry. We'll see you next time.
Legislative coverage on SDPB is supported by the South Dakota Bar Foundation, SDN Communications, Missouri River Energy Services, Wrench Law, and your membership in the Friends of SDPB. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ryan Howlett with Friends of SDPB, and I'm here with Molly Broin. Thank you for joining us during our holiday membership drive. Molly, how are you?
I'm doing great, Ryan. SDPB is here for you every day with programs like Nature, PBS NewsHour, The Joy of Painting, and Antiques Roadshow. Plus, we got fantastic shows on music, cooking, drama, and travel. And we can't forget our local content, like the documentary Badger Clark, Poet Among the Pines, stories from Dakota Life Detours, live coverage of high school sports and activities, and the annual Buffalo Roundup.
Exactly, Molly. And while national programming is incredible, what really makes SDPB stand out is the local content created right here in South Dakota for South Dakotans. Your support keeps this programming alive. So please, if you value what SDPB brings to your community, consider making a donation today. You can give online at sdpb.org